if you see the Smiths, you're going to kind of veer off a little bit to the left there. There's the Weinsteins, and at the Weinsteins, yeah. If you hit the Epsteins, you've gone too far.
I was going to say,
if the Epsteins, you've gone too far. You got to come back.
Wow, what a fucking wild time to be alive.
Take the turn, and Bob's your uncle. He's right there on the left. You get there, holy shit, it's Bob's uncle. He's on the fucking stake. Son of a bitch. He wasn't kidding. That guy wasn't kidding.
I'm dead.
So it's Bob's uncle.
I can't. Bob's your uncle, holy shit.
He wasn't kidding. It's Bob's uncle.
Oh, God. Okay. Before we begin today's episode, we would like to share a quick disclaimer. The views, opinions, and statements expressed by the hosts and guests on this podcast are their own personal views and are provided in their own capacity. All content is editorial, opinion-based, and intended for entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised.
In the shadow of the Carpathian Mountains, a man was born whose name would echo through eternity and throughout history. Clad in iron, drenched in blood. To his enemies, he was a monster. To his people, a savior. To the world, the inspiration for a myth that refuses to die. Welcome back. Tonight, we're going to step into the darkness of the 15th century and uncover the true-ish story of Vlad Dracula, better known as Vlad the Impaler, the man behind the inspiration for Dracula. This is like my favorite fucking like story monster, dude. All this other shit, I absolutely love it so much.
I'm just sitting here with the biggest grin on my face because I'm so fucking excited. And I will say, so just so our listeners understand, I'm going into this totally blind.
Yes, you had no clue about this one.
Yeah. Oh, this is great. I love me some vampire lore.
It's not so much vampire lore. We're talking. Oh, okay. We'll get into a little bit about that one. Well, no. It's loose vampire lore. This is the story of the actual man that was the inspiration for Dracula. So, Bram Stoker. There's no R. Bram Stoker.
Bram Stoker was.
Well, yeah, Bram Stoker, because he had the three-eyed raven. He was in a little fucking cripple chair, so he couldn't stroke it himself because his legs were dead. So he had whatever.
Well, I was thinking Bram Stoker was more like some kind of 1970s porn, but go ahead.
Bram Stoker heard the stories, and he learned of Vlad, whose name was I always forget if it I actually forget his actual last name, but he was Vlad III, and his father was Vlad Dracula, or Vlad the Dragon. So he's Vlad III, the son of the dragon, is what it loosely translates to. Tepesh is Romanian. It's like older Romanian for impaler or impaled.
Oh, okay.
Something along the lines of it. But yeah, so yeah, this dude was so fucked up that, our boy Bram there, he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna make a fucking monster out of this guy. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pretty much leave absolutely everything about him in there and then just change his name. That's all I'm gonna do. Because yeah.
Tell me all the details. I need to know everything.
We don't have that much time for all of the details, but I will give you some details. Okay. How about that? Anyhow, where are we gonna start? Maybe in the beginning, or we're gonna do a George Lucas. Yeah, it's like maybe for a George Lucas, we'll start it like halfway through.
Oh, no, no, no. Wait, wait, wait. No, you have to do your thing. Picture it.
Hey, hey. I literally have that written in my notes.
Do you really?
I really have that.
I need to have my Sophia moment.
Picture this. Eastern Europe, the 1400s. Oh, picture this. Eastern Europe, the 1400s. Europe is pretty much in chaos. You have the jackass Ottoman Empire that is just pushing west because that's just what you did. You just took over everything else. And there's all sorts of little, there was, the map looked completely different then as it does now. So like Wallachia is not a place anymore. It then turned to Transylvania, and then now it's Romania. And depending on where you are and which World War you're in, it was either Czechoslovakia or Romania. Either way.
Okay.
At the times, Wallachia. And it was literally dead set in the middle. So you had the Turks and the Ottomans pushing from the east out to the west. And then you had the Europeans, believe it or not, were actually pretty content with just keeping their shit together and just staying where they are. And Wallachia was literally dead set in the middle. Like I said, so Vlad Jr., Vlad II,
Mm-hmm.
he was ruler of Wallachia at the time. And the king, sultan, ruler, head D-bag in charge of the Ottoman Empires knocks on his door and says, "Hey, bud." I was going to knock on it, but I was like, no, just tap. Yeah. And he was like, okay, hear me out. This is what we're going to do. You're going to give me your son, or I'm going to kill your whole fucking country. What do you mean giving me your son? So yeah, no. So to not go to war with the Ottomans, which they knew they were wildly they were going to get the absolute boots because they're just this tiny, small European country. Yeah, they got an army, they have its men's or whatever, but like you're talking about like Rhode Island going against like the entire American army. Like the Ottoman Empire in the 1400s, the Ottoman Empire was essentially the remnants of the Persian Empire from ancient Greece. The Ottomans, so think of them, but with like more armor, and they made it past the Spartans. Like that's kind of what the Ottomans were. They didn't fuck around. Like the Ottoman Empire was a thing all the way until World War One. That's kind of a big deal. They got defeated by the British in World War fucking One and the Byzantines, but that's a different episode. So like you didn't want to fuck with these guys. So they were like, okay, take my son as collateral, or not necessarily like a hostage. Like he wasn't a prisoner. He aggressively adopted him in a way. So he lived in the palace. He took very good care of him. He took very good care of Vlad, but still, like, the cultures were just so wildly different, insanely different. And so one man's trash is another man's treasure. One man's quiet evening in is another man's brutal torture and displays of violence. Like, so he's seeing it is kind of a flex of muscle. It is an intimidation that the Ottomans were doing, showing this is what we do. These are who we are. Don't, when you go back to your dad, if you ever go back to your dad, don't fuck with us. Like we're this evil. So yeah, that's where he started to dip his toes into some of the cruel practices and some of the torture they would see. Guess what he saw for the first time? And he felt a little wiggle in his trousers.
Oh man. I don't know. Some kind of beheading, the rack. I'm just trying to think of all kind of like terrible.
Close. A naked woman.
What?
I'm kidding. No.
Like
impaling.
On a stick?
Impaling. This is where I was first introduced to impaling. And the Ottomans, I don't know if the Ottomans technically invented it, but they definitely did it a lot. They kind of took a lot of Christian stuff, and they said, "It's like we can see this. We see crucifixion. We raise you impaling. One stick, not two. It's a lot more gruesome and whatever." So what they would do is they would actually get the person pretty darn naked, and they would take a giant, they essentially would just kind of cut down a tree or a stake, a giant fucking stake. Oh, maybe pretty goddamn, quite a few inches around, right? And it's pointed out. I think they were 12 feet. They were like 12 or 15 feet tall, the stakes, and they would actually take it right up Main Street, or the Gooch, the Gurgle, the Fun Bridge. That was their target. They would kind of start it there, and then they would raise you up, and it was actually gravity. It's gravity that would push you down. So it was slow. It was agonizing. It was horrendous. You were alive the whole time. And the way that it works, because it's so slow, it's not actually piercing any of the organs. It's pushing the organs out of the way, and it's working its way through the rest of your body. So if you were lucky, it punctured your heart or your lungs, or you died of blood loss before it got, because there are some reports. I don't know how reports or records or who the fuck was, you got Scribe, you got that one dude the fucking thing. He goes like, and since the guy was alive for 17 hours, how the fuck he was alive for 17 hours? What do you sitting there counting 1 Mississippi to wait, what's Mississippi? Like, who the fuck are you? Who's counting this shit? Got an abacus up there? Get fucked. Anyhow, but there's also, I get so mad at my own fucking notes all the time. In history, fuck you. Who's recording this shit? Anyhow. But no, there are whatever types of records and reports, whatever fucking words you want to use for that one, where, some people would be alive for days.
Oh, shit.
Imagine that. Think of the worst day you ever had, or the worst shit you ever took in your life. It's nothing compared to that. It is nothing. I can't even. I have quite an imagination at times. I can't even fathom what that would be like. Even not even just to go through it, but to see somebody going through it.
Well, let me tell you, I can't even imagine, because I had an experience after my first back surgery, and I'm trying to think that experience times probably 1,000 thousands of pain. Oh man. That is, I mean, I've heard of impaling, you hear that, you hear they used to impale people, but I didn't realize the sheer brutality of it.
Oh, we're just getting started. We are just getting started.
So fascinated. I'm repulsed, but fascinated.
He didn't rule with an iron fist. He ruled with iron gloves, I'd say. His father was a fairly decent ruler. He was pretty stern. He wasn't evil. He wasn't psychotic. But he wasn't as brutal as what he was being shown. So he wanted to rule like his father, but with the practices of the Ottomans. Push comes to shove, more pressure is being put on by the Ottomans and other surrounding territories. And the long story short, Papa Vlad, he's no longer in charge. He's betrayed. He is killed. And so now Vlad assumes the throne. So the Ottomans are like, all right, you can go back. Your dad's gone. Go, your services are no longer needed here. Take everything you've learned and make something of yourself. So,
can I ask a quick question?
Yes, madam.
Okay. When he first, do we know how old he was when he saw his first,
he was but a lad. I would say, I think he was he was 8 when he was sent. He was roughly 8 when he was sent away. And then I'd say he's probably around 10 or 11 years old, somewhere around there. Wow, yeah, very, very. Yeah, so think about what you were doing when you were 10 or 11. That's what this guy was doing.
Oof.
And it's just something that just stuck with him. Clearly why.
How old was he when he assumed power? Do we know?
He was 30s, 40s. He was grown as shit.
So he had a good many years of witnessing really horrible stuff before
Oh
he
yeah,
took power.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, so it wasn't like I said, he wasn't like a prisoner. He wasn't treated like trash. He like lived in the palace. He was almost treated like a redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
So like everyone is he didn't like belong there, but he wasn't like hated. So he wasn't like it's not like he was seeing like his friend this happening to like his friends because they were all in captivity. They were just like public executions. This is what happens. You know what I mean?
It was like a fucked up version of Jon Snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
I'd say an even more fucked up version of Ramses.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But either way. So now 1450 something or other is when Vlad is now HBIC in Wallachia.
Okay.
And first order of business, very Godfather-esque, he takes out all of the noblemen who betrayed his father. So he's coming in, he wants to rule like his father, but he also wants to set the tone that betrayal is like not fucking cool, man.
Mm-hmm. I can respect that.
And so he was like, wait till you see what we do to these types of people. I'll give you 3 guesses, but you're probably only going to need 1.
Impales them.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Oof.
He started with all the corrupt nobles, anyone who betrayed his father, anyone who ever had anything bad, anyone who even if they didn't directly like partake in the plot against his father, if they were just ones who kind of thought the same way those people did, gone. What's that scene from Parks and Rec? He goes like, "If you talk bad about my father, impale. you think about talking about my father, impale. If you never met my father, believe it or not, impale. So meet no like, no meet no like, double standard, impale. Like that's what he fucking did."
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
He meant business.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. So. Yeah. So like, and it's and by the way, this isn't like none of this was done in like torture chambers. There's no like the deep caverns and the dungeons. Yeah, maybe you were tortured and kept there for like a little bit. You were like highway signs. I swear to God, there's more records. This guy who went back and he wrote it all down. He would actually prop bodies up as like actual like in the later years as like the signs. You see like the signs like, oh, Boston that way, Rome that way. He would actually have bodies impaled and then like the signs like Wallachia and like their arm propped up pointing which direction.
Oh shit.
Like, so this guy was sending a message throughout all of Europe, not just his realm, not just his country, all of Europe. He would like send fucking construction crews to put up new signs, Wallachia that way, and it's just a body on a fucking
Could you
spot.
imagine giving road directions? So what you want to do is you want to go down this way about, yay long, and then hook a left right where Brenda is being, up in the air with her
So you're
finger pointing that way.
So you're gonna start there with the Johnsons, right? And you're gonna go down past the Johnsons. You're gonna go, let's say we're about 3 or 4 families down on the right, and then from there you'll see the Smiths. If you see the Smiths, you're gonna kind of veer off a little bit to the left there. There's the Weinsteins, and at the Weinsteins, yeah. If you hit the Epsteins, you've gone too far.
I was gonna say if
the Epsteins, you've gone too far. You gotta come back.
Wow, what a fucking wild time to be alive.
Take the turn, and Bob's your uncle. He's right there on the left. You get there, holy shit, it's Bob's uncle. He's on the fucking stake. Son of a bitch. He wasn't kidding. That guy wasn't kidding.
I'm dead.
So it's Bob's uncle.
I can't. Bob's your uncle, holy shit.
He wasn't kidding. It's Bob's uncle.
Oh, God. God. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and then what happened?
What happened? No one fucked with Wallachia. That's what happened. The end. No, I'm kidding. No, we still have a little bit more to go, but there's it's just a whole lot of that. So he wasn't like a ruthless ruler. Like I said in the intro, his people actually fucking loved him because he took very good care of them, and he did anything and everything he could to um stay out of war and not piss anybody off. He's like, just leave us the fuck alone. We don't want this. He goes like, if you're cool, we're cool. We don't want your shit. Don't come take our shit. Like everyone just fucking be cool, okay? It's like that diner scene in Pulp Fiction. Who are we? We're Fonzie. We're fucking Fonzie, all right? What's Fonzie? He's cool. He's cool. Exactly. He's not on a fucking spike. He's cool. We're all Fonzie, right?
I mean, honestly, I kind of want to look up a picture of him. Like if there's any drawings, I need to see how close he is
Ugly
right
as shit.
now. Oh,
Ugly as shit. Ugly as shit. Yeah, no, he's not.
I was thinking he's very close to a hear me out. But
okay, I will say this. Dracula Untold. Watch that movie. That's a hear me out.
Oh, wait a minute.
Luke, spoiler alert.
Don't I fucking know it?
I was about to say, it was like spoiler alert. Luke Evans fucking plays Dracula. Trust me, that's a very much hear me out.
Yeah.
Well, actually, okay. You've seen that movie? That's actually pretty fucking close to. So if you take the parts before he becomes the vampire in the greatest vampire movie ever made, looking at you, Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves. That's the best. That is arguably the best fucking vampire movie ever made. Arguably. It is the best vampire movie ever made. The Underworlds are a close second. That movie is a fucking masterpiece. And so if you take the bits where he actually talks about being Vlad in the very beginning of the movie with that awesome fucking armor, by the way, if you take that and a lot of the bits from Dracula Untold, that's incredibly similar to what he was like or he's portrayed. He was a bit more strict and a bit more he's a lot less gentlemanly as he is portrayed in those movies. He was a bit off his nut, but at the same time we're also talking about the 1400s where we didn't have modern medicine. So I forgot what ailment he actually had, but his doctor would literally tell him, all right, just hold this bowl with this really shiny liquid in front of you and inhale the fumes. It was mercury.
Oh my God.
He was using mercury as like essential oils. You know what I mean? Like he's like it's
spa treatment.
Exactly. Yes. I've been working too hard. I deserve this. Instead of cucumbers, it's leeches on his eyes. He's having a mercury mud bath. Shit like that. So he was a little out there. But he very much was a very solid ruler. Like people would have loved to live in Wallachia. He did anything and everything that he could. He really was a person for his people. He was very public. He was out there and shaking hands and kissing babies kind of shit.
Yeah.
Just don't mind the decor.
He was a man of the people.
He genuinely was. He's really. I think that's why he's one of my favorites, is because he was like a pretty fucking solid leader, but he was just so violent. He was so fucking violent. It's almost like ancient John Wick. Like a great guy, you just leave him alone, but you piss him off and you're so fucked.
Yeah.
Anywho.
But I can respect that in a certain way.
He was ready and willing to do anything for his people to not go to war. So as you see, like I said, so in the Luke Evans movie, so he's being forced by the elements to do the same thing to get his son for it. And he was like, "Nah, go fuck yourself." And so then now he knows he's gonna bring upon the wrath of the Ottomans. And so like, "Oh no, we gotta go." And that's in the cave there's a monster or whatever, the blah blah blah, the vampire thing. But anyhow. Watch that movie. It's fucking great, and I love Luke Evans. My favorite. This is the number one thing that when I heard this, I was like, that is the most main character energy and the biggest of dick energy I've ever heard of. And I was just like, yes, this is why he became my favorite. The most infamous story. Picture this. 1462. The Ottomans have invaded. The Sultan, the king, Mehmed. I always forget how to pronounce that. Please, I mean no disrespect if I'm pronouncing it, but I think it's Mehmed, Mehmed.
Okay.
Mehmed II. He was the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. He had like 100,000 troops, 150,000 troops. His whole fucking army. They was like, all right, fuck you, dude. We're coming in. We're taking what we're gonna do. And so there was another army that tried doing that, like maybe the season before, right? Like this was the first string, the spring army went in. I forget which. I don't think it was the Byzantines, but there was another conquering army that was going to do that, roughly around the same size, give or take 100,000.
Okay.
They lost. They were ambushed by the Wallachian army, and it was pretty bad, pretty rough. So Vlad decided he's going to send a message, and we ain't talking the horsehead kind. That's the second Godfather reference I've made. He's going to have every single soldier that they captured. So I think there's like 20,000 they captured alive. The rest were dead. The ones that were dead, obviously, they just put on the sticks. They were dead anyway. Who gives a shit? But he did that to the other 20,000. He put 100,000 men.
Oh my god!
He put their horses.
What?
He put their horses in the encampment with this specific culture. This is where it gets dark. Now this was this same thing. This is another story. This part here was word of mouth passed through. Of course, this part wasn't recorded. We don't know if it's fake news or not. Back then, some of the encampments you were allowed your families.
Oh no!
He kidnapped he took the families hostage as well. He was so pissed off at this army coming to take us. Like, I told you guys not to fucking come here, and you guys are gonna fucking learn. Like I said, he had one too many spa treatments out before this point.
Yeah.
As the stories and legends goes, he had entire families put on the stakes to the point where he would actually, he would put the children first, and then he would put the mother, so that the mother is like trying to like force herself down to get to her child to like comfort their child.
Oh my god!
He was fucking wicked. I told you he was. Do not get on his bad side. Do not get on his bad side. Yeah, so that part is not recorded. That's all
word of mouth.
That's all word of mouth, and someone wrote it down. That, like I said, but when you pull on that thread to find out, it was always word of mouth. None of that. But if all the other fun stuff, there is recordings that he would do all the armies. But so what was recorded was that he took the entire army that he slaughtered, 100,000 men and their horses, anything that was alive. They took, and like I said, if they had any pets, if they had any livestock with them, he took and he put them on the spikes on the one road leading into Wallachia.
Oh
the
my
one
god.
road every army would the road you would have to take through the mountains, through the Carpathian Mountains to get to Wallachia. He lined with 100,000 with an army on stakes.
God.
You want to know what kind of a message that sends?
I mean, probably a pretty fucking solid message, I can tell you that.
Mehmed II, the conqueror of Constantinople. Constantinople. Okay. all seriousness, it was known for its walls. It was known for its defenses. It could not be conquered. Mehmed II fucking conquered Constantinople. This guy is no fucking slouch. He
Mm-hmm.
conquered the inconquerable city. Turns his army around and says, "Nope,
I was
nope,
going to say it
we ain't doing that."
probably
Literally, if
shrunk his
only.
sphincter really, really tight.
Absolutely, they are halfway through the march. They're like however many miles. So picture, just you have any idea how long that fucking road is? Because like you can't. It's like it's 100,000 men. Try to picture what 100,000 men looks like. Now picture them on stakes that you have to march through. It's a fairly narrow pass. You could probably only get a couple. You could probably only get about what one score of men abreast marching down this thing. You have your army you have to go through. You have to camp in the middle of a forest of men in the middle of impaled bodies. You have to set up camp in the
And not
middle.
only that, I mean, you think 100,000 men plus horses, plus families, plus livestock.
The smell.
I was just going to say, could you
The
imagine
smell.
the god-awful stench?
Just like I said, just the sight alone is horrors, but there's the smell. Think of the sound too. Think of what like flies and animals and
Yeah.
everything. Imagine all the different scavenger animals that are in the area too. Like I said, the flies. There are billions, trillions of flies probably in this whole out of this whole stretch.
Oh, man.
100,000, an entire army. That is, I can't even fathom that.
I can't
Just,
wrap my head around it.
yeah,
Wow.
it's so one of the most brilliant and feared conquerors in history said, absolutely not, and he turned and went home. He said, it's not worth it.
No.
Absolutely not worth it. But the Ottoman army, that was the big dick on campus at the time.
Yeah.
That's like the U.S. Army marching anywhere, seeing this and like, nope, we're going. Like it was the biggest, baddest army at the time. The well equipped, well armored, well trained. No one fucked with them. And he was like, "Now we good.
Yeah.
We're good." And yeah, it's the darkest. It's the most fucked up part. But that is my favorite. That is my favorite. Like when I learned that about him, I was just like, that's how you send a message without endangering your people. A lot of other people, you got a giant army and you go and you invade and you do this one and you commit atrocities on your, on a crusade, on a conquest, whatever. He goes, no. You set up your defenses that no one wants to fuck with you. And like, best offense is a really good defense. That's a pretty fucking good defense if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, to the rest of the world, he was a scary, monstrous person, but I could see where his people probably thought, like, this man will go to the literal, like, almost the ends of the earth to protect us.
Exactly. So,
like, how loyal were his people?
That's where it gets kind of. So in the beginning, it was all loyalty, but then you have to assume that was not very. The PR team was probably having a fucking nightmare.
Well, I would think.
You know what I mean? At that point, you're ruling with that. That's fear. Your people listening to you out of fear. Though you're not threatening them, you're seeing what his brain is doing. There's you can't tell me that his people were okay with it. I refuse to believe those people were okay with that. They didn't know about it, and that they were terrified. There's no way they weren't terrified at that point.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, and I think just I'm trying to soak in this story and react. Like the part where he kind of like lost me is, okay, fine, all is fair in battle or whatever, but to do that to women and children.
It's when you did to the innocent. To the innocent.
It's to the innocent. I mean, like that's where I think he probably started losing a lot of people. And if there were like defectors or I'm not sure how the story ends, but I'm just saying like I can
kind of see that might be the turning point where people are like, okay, you had us until you did this.
Yeah. No, he was actually, yeah, that's the next point, was now the end of it all, more or less, is stories of that, word gets around, that's what's happening. And there's pretty solid proof of that one. So inevitably he is betrayed, he's captured, and he's imprisoned for life. He's not killed, he's not executed, because there was still that respect, if you would, whether it was fear or respect, or both. It wasn't by his people, it was his allies, so it was neighboring countries. They didn't invade, they didn't like attack or like lay siege or anything like that one. It was just like, they were more or less like, hey, yo, Wallachians, you boys lost the plot, hasn't he? And they're like, yeah. I was like, he did good by you guys. Like, he did do his best, but too many days at the spa. And that happens. What do you expect? It's almost the 1500s. We don't know. Yeah. We're still rubbing dog shit in our eyes to see better. So, so yeah, it was a bunch of his allies. They turned on him. He was imprisoned, and they locked him up and they threw away the key because they knew they couldn't kill him because it would be a martyr, because there was some really solid loyalists that he had.
Yeah.
But they're like, whatever, just let him fucking die. Just let him rot. But during that's when the man who became a monster then became a myth. That's where the story started. That's where there was like, oh my god, we got locked up in it now. It's like, oh my god, we got fucking Vlad down there and all that kind of shit. Because you hear what that son of a bitch did, man, with all the guys. I heard he did that to their families too, because they had families with them and whatever. And like, no way, Then there's the stories of that he would dine with other people that he's impaled and they're still alive. He would actually, he would use them as like decorations. Like he would set up like a little picnic out on the garden and things like that. When he would like feast with them, like all around him as like the decorations, and as he's just eating his food and whatever. He would like, then this where a lot of the cannibalism, the blood drinking kind of stuff about vampires and whatnot comes from that, because there was stories and rumors that he would actually like drink their blood and like use like sop their blood up with bread and eat it, and the same thing. That's all hearsay, word of mouth kind of. There's no hard enough evidence of that any of that happened, of him actually like eating blood. Like drinking blood and eating blood. I wouldn't put it past him, because he was.
Yeah, I mean, with mercury.
Yeah, exactly. He's mercury. Mercury literally makes you go insane, actual insane, inhaling mercury like that. But that's really where it. That's the part that. That's the part that stuck with Stoker. That makes a great fucking monster. That makes a great fucking character. Is all the brutality of it all. So he just kind of, he took it, spun it, and however it would be, maybe, and then gave us the vampire. Essentially, he gave us the mainstream vampire. Because I believe there was a book. I don't think Mary Shelley wrote it, because Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein. I think did she write did she write vampire also? So there was right around before Dracula came out, there was a book called Vampire, or The Vampire, and it was just about it's a vampire. There was no kind of Vlad inspirations.
Right.
All the Vlad inspirations came from Stoker's.
Yeah.
About him being, actually having the name Vlad Tepes and the impaling and blah blah blah.
Right.
So, but which same thing, just through the ages, how the story has changed, and there's bits and pieces of this story and bits and pieces of that story, and this one heard this from that, and that one heard this from this.
Yeah.
And I don't care what it is. You make any vampire movie, make any Dracula movie, I'm gonna fucking see it. I don't care. I think the only person I'm not gonna go see, is like I will say, if there's only one vampire movie I haven't seen and I will not see, and it's motherfucking Morbius.
Oh
just
yeah.
just wrong.
Yeah.
Can't stand Jared Leto. Fuck that dude.
Yeah. No. I haven't seen that. Won't see it. No.
Yeah, no, we just won't. But it's just, I don't know. Another thing too is that it's like, I think another reason why I like his stories so much. I don't want to say they're relatable, but like I get it, because
Right.
like how far would you go? To what lengths would you go to defend your own, to protect your own, to protect your you specifically? What are the things you would do to protect your daughter?
Yeah. I
You know what I
mean,
mean?
there's hardly nothing. If all bets are off, I would literally let the world burn to protect her.
Exactly. So he doesn't have just one. You could, he had a wife and kids too. So yeah, he had to take care of his wife and kids. But like as a good ruler,
Right.
you know all of your people are like your children. They are your people, and so he would do anything,
Mm-hmm.
anything he would have done to protect his people. And it wasn't such, at least in the beginning, it wasn't a power hungry thing. I need to preserve my power. It is to protect my people.
Right.
And so he was just like he saw the world as very dark and very brutal and very violent. So he was like, violence only knows violence. I need to be
Right.
just as bad, if not worse, than the people next door. And
Well,
God damn it, that's what he did.
Yeah, I mean, and there is a certain deterrent to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a time period where executions of criminals were public. And
Oh yeah.
that was a huge deterrent. When they stopped doing public executions, crime went up. Because people weren't seeing the consequences of their actions anymore. So there is a certain, like, I can understand the deterrent there, and I can respect it. I think, yeah, I can see, with the mercury poisoning and kind of going insane where he went way the fuck off course. But in the beginning, yeah, I could respect his way of thinking. Totally.
That's a lovely little history. It's a lovely little history. What if? Because like I feel the thing is that I think he just got that bad because of
Yeah.
mercury, because of the mercury, because of
Yeah.
certain things like that. So imagine like what if he didn't have what if he didn't have mercury poisoning? What if he didn't actually go completely insane like that? What if he stayed relatively healthy? You know what I mean? Would he have been? Would he still have been? Because you get the people who's like, I'm gonna I'll tie in Red Dead right now to us, right? There's the people who feel that, one of the things that Arthur says, he goes like, when him and John are talking, he goes, he feels that this was always Dutch. It's just finally come out of him. Nothing forced that. Was that always the type of person he was, and the mercury just quickened it, or is it because of the mercury? Kind of a thing. You know what I mean? So
Right.
It's all just what if that didn't happen. It's another one. Like I said, it's another one of history's massive what ifs for me.
Right.
Could it have gone the other way? Would he not have been so brutal, and the Ottomans would have just conquered them, and we would have never known? He'd have been lost to history.
Right.
But the reason he stays is because of his brutality, because of his ferocity.
Right. The other thing that I was thinking of as you were telling the story, like it reminded me of the story of Lady Bathory, how she was also exposed to a lot of brutality at a very young age, but she also had medical conditions, and a lot of, she probably did some really fucked up things, but also there's not a lot of like hard evidence of the crimes that she was accused of. And a lot of it was word of mouth. And, like a game of telephone, people don't always get things accurate as they're telling stories. And back then, it was word of mouth. It was the game of telephone is how news spread throughout the land.
Mm-hmm.
This person telling this group of people, and then it's like, what is it like? You tell one person, and they tell two people, and then they tell four people, and just
Yeah.
So it's hard to say what maybe some things what's true and what's not. But man, it's a fucked up story.
Mm-hmm.
Either way you go.
It is, but it's the best kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, it's dark and but it's a
yeah. Like I said, and there's even some stuff that's like I didn't like other stuff that he's done and did and whatever. It's not pertinent to like the main story. It's just the little unnecessary sprinkles. So
unnecessary sprinkles.
Unnecessary sprinkles. Siri add song title. So, last question for the closing statements, and I want genuine answer, not just the one you think I want to hear.
Okay.
Vlad the Impaler, hero or monster?
Oh man. I mean, I'm not saying this to get out of the either or, but I think he was a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
I think hero to some, monster to most.
Mm-hmm.
I think the truth is somewhere in between. So I don't know that I can answer that one way or the other.
I would kind of take a play on that one. I would say hero to some, monster to all. Because like I said, there's no way, there's no way that his people were okay with the forest. Like, yes, he's taking care of us. He's protecting us.
No.
That's too far. So like I said, he was a hero to some, everyone. It's impossible. It's like me. He was. I would put him in the monster category. 1,000,000%. His reasonings for his actions, I feel, are justified.
Mm-hmm.
But you still committed those actions. You still committed atrocities. Doesn't even come close. Like, just because, what's that line from? What's you call it from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is like my favorite show ever. Cool motive, still murder. Like, cool motive, cool motive, still a war crime. Like,
yeah.
He's definitely of. He was both. He was heroic monster. So like. Anti-hero.
Yeah.
Capital anti.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very anti. Oof. I still love it though. Anyhow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I learned a lot today.
God, that sounds like one of those after school specials right there. And I helped. Like, get fucked. All right.
It's shake and bake, and I helped.
And I helped. All right. So now, you let us know. Vlad the Impaler, hero or monster? Maybe a bit of both. He was brutal, yet he protected his lands. Fear was his weapon. But history will always remember the blood, and not the purpose. From prince to prisoner, from monster to myth, myth of a man. Vlad's story reminds us of just how the darkness and power often walk hand in hand, side by side. Thanks for diving into the darkness with us tonight. If you think there's another dark figure that we left out, or something else really fucked up you want to hear us talk about, let us know about that one. Let us know who we should cover next. Until next time, keep your stakes sharp and your history even darker.
Bye, everybody.
Air quote. Turns into a cloud of bats, squeaks and flies away. End quote.
Bye, everybody. I'm gonna The sneeze was coming and I couldn't do anything about it.
Oh, that was great. That was great.
Say bye, Kyle.